Cup of Joe with Grampa Dez. Hey, Oliver. By judging by
What's
that
up?
smile, did the intro catch you off guard?
The Tim Hortons cup made me happy.
Oh, cool. Well, hey, be happy again. That's what I'm
Man,
drinking. What do you got?
I got a cup of Joe. Got a
Okay,
cup of Joe
cool.
too, but it's Colombian roast espresso.
Mm.
Like
What do you take?
seven of them.
What do you 7 you've had today?
This cup has 7 doses of
Oh,
espresso.
got you. And what do you take anything in it? Like sugar, cream, anything? Nothing? Black?
Just coffee, dark coffee, as dark
Cool.
as my soul.
That's what I got. And I just came back from and we're recording this, so where you are it's evening, and we're yeah, it's not evening here. And I've had so much coffee today, it's incredible. So I might be a little more hopped up than usual, which is fine because I've been looking forward to this conversation since we talked about it. So how are you doing? We have not seen each other now we're almost 3 years, right? Face to face.
Pretty much 2.5 years, 2 years, 8 months or something.
Yeah.
Since Vegas, basically.
Yeah, and
Double or
really
nothing, 2019.
Yeah, and really not even like face to face like this, because I mean we chat all the time on instant message, like I'm sure a lot of people do in this day and age, but we haven't really caught up, audio, video. I love doing this, and this is basically the reason why I created this show was, number one, to talk to really cool people like yourself, but also to just catch up with my friends. And it just so happens that I have a lot of people that fit into both categories, and you're one of them. So
Cheers
thank you
to
for,
that.
thank you for agreeing to do this. So what I want to ask you, before we get into whatever, and I always say I'll let the guests talk about whatever they want to talk about, unless they don't have anything in particular, then we'll just go wherever it goes. But one of the things I always look forward to from you is showing you always show pictures of your traveling and your destinations, and you'll show the maps when you're getting on a plane and stuff like that. And of course, over the last almost 2 years now, there's been none of that. And so I'm wondering how you're dealing with that, because you're so used to traveling and you're stuck in one place now. And I can't imagine. I know how I feel, and I go out maybe like 3 times a year, and you're like, maybe 3 times, like in almost every month, it seemed like you were going out. So how are you dealing with it?
In the beginning, it was pretty difficult because it felt like I had my wings clipped
Yeah.
in a way. Because I used to be on the road for like 250 to 300 days a year. So being
Yeah.
stationary, being at home for like a year and a half at a time is definitely out of my comfort zone, really. But yeah, I had some health stuff to deal with over the past year
Right.
or so. So that kind of kept me busy.
Hmm.
And it also kind of puts things into perspective.
And how are you doing with that now? You're
Oh, I'm
recovering
fine.
okay?
Just
Oh, good.
just had my 6-month checkup today. It's all good.
That's awesome. And when you say home, I mean, like you're in Germany, but I mean, for you, like you've been in Germany for what is it going on closer to 30 years now, right? But you're, yeah, but you're like, your home away from home was always Vegas, and you
Mhm.
haven't been there since Double or Nothing. So that must be hard just in itself,
Def-
let alone all the other places you travel, but not being in
it's
Vegas, which you love.
Well, it's not just because it's Vegas. It's also because since I worked for the UFC for such a long time, a big part of my friendship circle is based there. So
Yeah.
people just keep living their lives, and you try to catch up over stream, and you try to call and to write, but it's not the same thing because
No.
they keep living their lives in Vegas, but you're no longer part of it. So you're kind of being a friend from afar, which is not a good proposition, really.
And when you go back, like it'll have been 3 years. So,
Pretty
at
much, yeah.
best, if you're lucky, like I'm starting to wonder if 3 years is even going to happen now. I don't want to think like that, but this Omicron, I mean, I was ready to book my flight, and now I'm like, well, let's just hold off a second and, wait, because I mean, our health is the most important thing,
Sure.
which I think you were getting at. And you know what? The travel will be there when it gets there. But one thing that I think that the positive has brought on, though, and you say like that face to face, hanging out together, going out for a dinner, for a meal, just chatting in person, being able to have that human interaction is important. But I think what this has taught us is that we can do that via other methods, and call like this is good. Even though this is being broadcast, to me, this is just a conversation we're having that I'm going to put on YouTube, and other people can watch it if they want. But I'm just more interested in talking to you. And if nobody else watches it, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care, because I'm getting to talk to Oliver.
Works for me.
Yeah. But you know what? You're a popular dude, so I assume some people will watch it.
We'll
You know,
see.
like, well, yeah. Well, I know some of our mutual friends will watch it, because they like you and they tolerate me. So as you see on the bottom there, like, you're a pretty busy guy. You've got the AEW Rampage gig now, which I know you just love. I've heard you in interviews. Yeah. So what's that like now, getting back into like pro wrestling? And I mean, you were doing Impact, but this is actual pro wrestling. Impact was sports entertainment that just happened to be on television. You're commentating pro wrestling. Like, it might as well be a sport. Might as well be boxing, because it's the sport of professional wrestling that you're broadcasting, and I'm envious of you.
Well, I'll be honest with you, it was pretty difficult getting back into the flow wrestling wise, because I was away for like 15 years, and that's a long time in wrestling. So from the names of the moves to the names of the people, you just kind of got to segue back in there. So from that perspective, I got the opportunity to fill in on Dynamite a couple of times every year since it started. And that kind of helped me segue back into wrestling broadcasting, because the way broadcast wrestling is totally different from broadcasting MMA, is totally different from broadcasting boxing or whatever else I do. So it's been a transition. It's been a great transition. I've been having the time of my life on Rampage.
How is it being received? I know you've told me in private conversations the ratings are really good. What kind of feedback are you getting?
Well, people are really happy to see wrestling back on TV, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to WWE or anybody else, but
actual wrestling.
This is actual wrestling. This is the type of wrestling that people over here love, you know. And what's not to love? There's something for everybody.
Can you hear that?
Who's pounding something?
Someone's knocking on the door. Hang on. Someone's knocking on the door. What's going on here?
Hey!
Hi!
Good to see you, Jess. How are you?
Surprise!
Surprise! Now this just got better.
Look at the smile on Oliver's face. Oh, what are you drinking? I wasn't
expecting you.
We're both drinking coffee.
Oh, lame. I'm drinking mimosas.
That's not bad.
I'm still
basically going. You're already heading back to Vegas without heading back to Vegas, huh?
Never mind Vegas. Did you see where she just came back from? On Facebook?
You were in Mexico, right?
Yeah, I'm still in Mexico time. So mimosas all day, every day.
Mexico time's the same time.
Exactly. 5 o'clock everywhere.
No, but it's the same time there as it is here.
I'm in Calgary.
I'd love to get out of the cold. Yeah.
Me too.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
We were just talking about travel, Jessica. So how did you manage to get away?
I snuck out just in time now with all the changes or whatever. This was for my best friend's wedding, like Haley's wedding. So we had it booked 2 years ago, and then it got rescheduled. So I was like, no, we're going for sure. We're doing it. So
how's Calgary treating you?
It's Calgary. Cold, windy. Have you ever been to Calgary?
I've been to Calgary. One of my grandparents lives in Edmonton.
Oh, that's cool.
I've been to Calgary, been to Edmonton. Haven't been to the Hard House yet though. So
I need a summer here, because I hear that the Stampede's really cool. So
you're getting a visitor in a couple weeks, Jessica. I don't even know if you know.
Am I?
Yeah, Alicia and Liam.
From Calgary?
Yeah, they're
For
coming.
What?
That's holidays.
Oh,
driving out there. Yeah, she's got friends there, but she's coming to see you too. So Oliver, that's my daughter and my grandson. They're
does she like to ski?
I don't know. Probably. She's very outdoorsy.
Do you know how I ski?
Yeah, you just fall down the mountain.
Straight down.
Yeah.
Straight down as fast as I can, and everyone yells at me.
How often have you crashed?
I don't. I got good balance.
So, yeah.
When are we going back to Vegas?
Well, hopefully May.
May.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'll save a bed for you in my room, Jess. So
sounds like fun, Paul.
Yeah. No. Well,
that's okay. You're never in there anyways. We have different times. We have different hours.
It looks like you're starting early, which is cool. You know, like you said, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Jessica doesn't sleep anyway.
So I got to ask you, in those pictures, there's a guy there wearing a Jets hat and paraphernalia. Who was that?
Huh?
There's a guy in like several of the pictures that was wearing Jets stuff.
All of them. Probably Kyle. Kyle looks like the Jets, like the trainer of the Jets.
Somebody looked like he looked like Fetty.
Oh, really?
But it wasn't Fetty, but it looked kind of like
man.
Fetty.
Probably the best man. Chris had a Jets hat, but Kyle always wears Jet stuff too. They're hilarious.
Okay.
Like,
and Kyle is Kyle Haley's fiance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see me in my Bombers? I had a Bombers bikini top on the day before the Bombers won.
No. Yeah, Oliver. I don't know if you know, but our football team, our local football team, won the Grey Cup, which is the Canadian Super Bowl.
I'll send you a pic later, Oliver.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know the CFL still existed.
Oh God.
Barely. Just kidding. No, I'm serious. They missed last year.
Paul.
No, they missed last year because of the pandemic. They didn't play a single game, and they were talked that they were going to fold. And then The Rock was looking at merging his league with the CFL to kind of keep them going, but then they managed to, get enough money together to run this year with limited capacity. But there's already talk like next year, because Toronto's the biggest market and they can't get 5,000 people to their games.
Wow.
Yeah, Winnipeg, Calgary, Saskatchewan. Yeah.
But the Bombers, Winnipeg fans are crazy.
Winnipeg sells out. Calgary, Saskatchewan, they all sell out. But Toronto is the most important market, and they can't draw flies.
True
and nobody watches on TV. This was
because the Argonauts are fucking terrible. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, it's YouTube. Go ahead. Although you're offending Oliver.
Oh, yeah, of course. Mr. F-bomb, of course. So where do they play in Toronto? What arena?
It's outdoors. It's I think it's called Tim Hortons Field.
Outdoors, yeah.
I could be wrong.
I like that name. It's got a catchy ring to it.
Yeah. Well, it's like my little logo there. Jessica, have you seen the show yet?
What show?
This show. The show we're doing. Okay, I should cut her off. So, was this a nice surprise, Oliver?
Super surprise. What's her name? The dog's name?
Oh, I don't know. Jessica, can you hear us? I want to say it starts with a D.
What?
What's the dog's name?
Rocky.
Rocky. Okay.
Stupid dog. Barks
hey, did your mom go to Mexico, or did she stay home?
No, she stayed home.
Okay, that's what we thought. We couldn't see her in any of the pictures, so.
Yeah, no. She stayed home. So all 3 kids plus me was interesting.
Yeah, that's all we saw in the pictures, so.
No, but they did good. They were relatively well behaved for them.
Well, I'm sure you gave Danica enough alcohol to keep her quiet, and
she had a couple sips. She's almost 13.
Almost 13. It sounds like you guys are German.
Yeah, she's a parent of the year.
She's a little mini me though. She was on a mission to meet a boy and kiss a boy in Mexico. She was literally looking up phrases. She was on Duolingo trying to figure out how to say do you want to go for a walk with me in Spanish, and do you think I'm pretty? And I was like, oh my God.
Please tell me she's not on Tinder.
No, she's 12. Jesus.
Not that you know of.
I helped her find a boy and they played ping pong together. It was really cute.
So Jessica actually postponed a Zoom meeting to do this, Oliver. So we are privileged. Nice. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen you face to face since you came to our place, Jessica, in last year when they lifted the restrictions for a few months.
Well, I come back to Winnipeg every summer. And now being closer, I'll be back there every summer.
She drove through and saw the other part of her mom's family, but didn't see me. I didn't even realize she'd been here till she got to Calgary.
Oh, we were only there for 9 hours.
I know. I could have driven. I would have driven down there though. Yeah.
Really? I did not know this.
Oh yeah. Well, her family.
I have a question. Is wrestling still a thing?
Oh yeah. Your boy won the world title.
My boy did?
About a month ago. Yeah.
Oliver, you got to look us up.
Oh,
what?
Just married and he just had a kid.
Meet and greet. What?
Oh, you mean Hangman?
She wants to meet Hangman when we're in Vegas.
Yes.
Okay.
It didn't happen last time. It's got to happen next time.
He'll autograph.
But he's an anxious millennial cowboy, so be careful.
Yeah.
I don't care.
He might go too hard for him.
He still has the belt by then. I think he will.
By May?
Perhaps.
That's when we were there last time. Was in May too, right? Wasn't it? Or June?
Yeah. That's the big show that they do every year.
Maybe
it'll be the same show.
Yeah, it's called Double or Nothing. So it'll be like not the same matches, obviously, but same people. They have some new ones, some people you might know.
You know what I do? The only thing I know about AEW, it's called AEW, right?
Yep.
Okay. The only thing that I know about it is that one of the girls from Jersey Shore, like JWoww, her boyfriend is like in it. I don't know
Who's
his name.
kidding?
Who's that?
I forget his name. I'll have to look it up.
Do you know Oliver?
They call him 23 on Jersey Shore. They call him 23 because he's like 10 years younger than her.
Please tell me it's Joe Janela.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I don't know. He's at all he's at all the matches or whatever, and she's at all the matches, and she brings her kids and stuff. Mm-hmm. And she promoted it on like the Jersey Shore and like on her Instagram because I guess they're very her son's got autism. Okay. And I guess they promote like that it's like friendly for people with autism for some. I don't know.
She did wrestling.
So crazy.
She did wrestling for a little while, didn't she, Oliver?
She just got into it because he's in it.
Wasn't she in Impact?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I thought
I only do Impact pay-per-views.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna Google this.
I was watching it on the Jersey Shore, and I was like, I know what she's talking about.
They have a new version of the Jersey Shore, right? Not the original one, but as parents, right?
Yeah, family vacation or whatever it's called.
Yeah, there you go.
But she talks about AEW on there.
Zach Carpinello.
What?
That's his name.
How random is it that Jessica's telling two people who work in wrestling about something that's happening in wrestling?
Yeah,
that's so odd.
Maybe he does dark matches.
I don't think he's like a big name or anything, but
right. You know who Jessica needs to watch? Hook.
Oh my God! Boy. Yes, Jessica. We'll have to send you the the thing. You'll love Hook.
What is it?
You will absolutely.
Is Hook a dude?
Yeah. He's like what, 22?
Too young.
But okay. So he's Zach Clayton.
That's his name, Zach. Yes.
Yeah, Zach Clayton, and he's been wrestling on Dark for months. Never been on Impact or Rampage. See, I'm looking at his record right now. Yeah,
Jesus.
I don't think I'd recognize
down in the calendar.
Yeah, so he's wrestled Janela, he's wrestled Colt, QT, 10, Bear Country, Dark Order. Yeah. So
good thing you had me on here.
Yeah, no kidding. You taught us something. And this show isn't even about wrestling. So we have my sister who knows nothing about wrestling. I have a professional wrestling commentator, and somehow it got to wrestling because of you.
Oliver, do you listen to that podcast, the music one that we do? Or that I listen to?
He does. You mean David's?
Yeah, do you listen to that sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. I can't really catch up with every single one of them because it puts out too many.
I know. I listen to the ones that I get, like that I request shows on. Paul, I get so mad at you. I'm sitting there swearing at you.
Why?
Every time.
Because I'm screwing up facts?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm a hack.
I know more about music. We need to have like a music showdown because I definitely know more about music than you. I get so mad. I'm like, why didn't you say this? Why didn't you say that?
Well, we're doing a show on UK artists on Boxing Day. So if you want to send me some requests, I'll tell David that you're on there.
Okay.
What do you mean request? She has to be on the show.
Well, maybe. You know what? I'll tell David. Yeah, maybe you can get you on the show.
I get so mad at you.
You'll be hung over on Boxing Day, but you can probably still do it. Yeah.
Oh, fun trivia note. Since you're a boxing big music person, I recently recorded a documentary voiceover in the studio where Debbie Harry's songs got made, where some of the Eagles albums got made.
Oh wow, I love the Eagles. Are my favorites. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
have
you heard of Harold Faltermeyer?
Yes, Axel F.
The guy, Axel F, Top Gun theme, et cetera, et cetera.
You know Axel F, Jess. It's the theme from Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop.
I've never seen it. I'm not a movie person. I know that.
Yeah, that's Axel F.
Here comes your first YouTube strike.
Yeah. What? No, because you're allowed to recreate. I figured out a way around it. I can play the karaoke version of something and then sing along to it, and that will not get me a YouTube strike.
Really?
Very good.
But I did get my first YouTube strike, but I got it off when I did the show with Chris DiPetrillo. We reviewed Last American Virgin, and I thought playing 20 seconds of Just Once by James Ingram would be okay, and it was not okay.
20 seconds, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, it was not okay. So they deleted that 20 seconds of the video, and so when you watch it, we kind of do a bit of a jump cut. But hey, I learned.
I think we were okay with dun 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 dun.
Yeah. That's generic enough. Yeah, so that's
really,
cool.
Really, it was really fun though, walking in there and seeing all those platinum records on the wall. Like that studio has a 40-year history. And
what were you recording?
I was doing voiceovers for two documentaries. One, the Michael Bisping documentary, and the Conor McGregor documentary.
Oh wow!
And I got to record a couple of lines for an upcoming Paramount movie.
Oh,
that's
sweet.
That's going to be fun. Yeah.
Jessica, do you recognize anything in my background?
Yes, that Brothers thing, the Blues Brothers. That's from my house.
Yeah.
Is that the only one? Yeah.
Well, isn't the picture just behind my shoulder there? Wasn't that in your basement as well?
I don't want to zoom in on my face like this. This is weird. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, because your mom was into that style of the black and white with the colors mixed in.
Yeah. It's very busy back there, Paul. You got a lot going on behind you.
I know. I need Oliver to give me some tips on how to straighten things out.
Oliver's like minimalistic.
Have you seen my white wall behind me?
Yeah.
I got no style.
Look at I got my wrestlers back there.
Tree.
Got my wrestlers there covering up the kids. As you can see. Yeah. Ric Flair.
I see it.
Ed, Christian, Eddie Guerrero, Undertaker. All the faves, all the big ones. And then I got those banners are covering up cubby holes. And if we're lucky, one of my cats will escape from the cubby hole during the show. You'll just kind of see a cat pop out from behind those banners. So yeah, it's cool. And then the Jets sweater there that you see behind the Blues Brothers picture, that's covering up a heater. So, yeah, it's a real
Oliver, I like your fancy microphone.
Yeah, thank you. Look at Oliver. Oliver's a professional.
You do look like a pro here.
He is a pro.
We're like Bush League.
Old pro.
Yeah.
It's literally just a Yeti Pro. It's nothing too fancy.
Can you even hear me?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't have anything. I didn't even put a
headphone. Your sound isn't as good as Oliver's or mine, but it's all right. Yeah, we can hear it.
Who cares?
Exactly.
It's about being here.
Your picture looks better, even though the video quality isn't as good. You more than make up for it.
We need to get back to Vegas stat.
Yeah, you're the second.
Yes.
You're the second woman to appear on this show.
The second. Who was the first?
Darlene, my aunt.
Oh, yeah.
Author. So what were you going to say, Oliver? Sorry, I cut you off there. I've been doing that a lot. I'm sorry.
All I said was that there's a couple of really nice new places we should go to for some
candy.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. That was our first stop when we got in. Did you pick us up, Oliver? No, we took a taxi, didn't we?
We met up at the barbecue place.
Yeah.
That's right. But before the barbecue, we
met at the cab dropped us off at the barbecue place, and Oliver drove us to the hotel with a pit stop.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a great place. I brought some of those back. I shouldn't say that because we weren't.
You guys hit it off like I was not expecting, so that was cool. Because I knew you were both cool, and I assumed you'd both like each other, but you hit it off way better than I thought you would. So
why wouldn't we have?
Well, I don't know, but I thought this was a brilliant excuse to get you on here, Jess, and then also to surprise my friend. And and we were having a decent conversation, but I just saw Oliver's demeanor change as soon as your face. Yeah. So
I mean, do you blame me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for me. We'll figure it out.
And now I have an excuse to bring Oliver back, and then we just do whatever we were going to do. Because now it's be like, well, the last time we just talked to Jess, now we have to have our own conversation. So this is my method to my madness.
Because I have something I have to do at 11:30. So
yeah, absolutely. We've got a few more minutes, Oliver, so we can chat. So
how do
I will let you go, Jess. Thank you so much. Hey, wait, before you go, I know you won't watch this, so here I'll do this, even though I'm going to do it at the end. So wait,
Who says I've never watched your shows, Paul?
I do. This is my theme song. Here we go. Get ready.
I hear nothing.
Wait.
Womp.
What's going on?
I want to break free.
I wonder if it's because we're all three on. Now you got to watch it. Hang on.
There's like a 50-50 shot.
Did you see it? Wait a minute. You saw it there for a second. What is going on here? Okay, you know what? Never mind. Just watch it later.
Good job.
Okay.
Great production.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, Jess.
Can't
I'm a
wait to see you
host.
and me.
I'm a host, not a producer.
Can't wait to.
Yeah. All right. There's Jessica.
That was
Thanks
a
for joining us,
really nice
Jess.
surprise.
Oh, no problem. Oh, there we go. Now, Cup of Joe with Grampa Dez. All right, here we go. Back to Oliver. So, yeah, that's you know what it is. My computer that I'm using this on is super slow. So in addition to investing in new lighting, as we talked about off air, I think I need to get a different computer to do this show on, because you know what? I just thought I was doing this for fun, but people really like it. So I want to make it the best as possible. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and watching, listening, doing it, I have way more fun doing the show than people have watching it. So, yeah. So do you remember what?
There's something to be said about not talking about wrestling all the time.
Yes, absolutely. But with wrestling people, because that's what I think the appeal of something like this is to talk to people that you're fans of, you're friends with. So people listening, they may be fans of you, they may be friends with you, they may be both. They want to hear you talk about other things other than wrestling. So we got a few more minutes. I want to talk to you about because I know we've had these conversations in the past, and you've hooked me up with some excellent television to watch. So what is either out there now or coming up that I and other people need to keep an eye on?
Well, there's two things I want to say. One is a show called Succession, which
of course
finished its third season.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing on TV right now from my personal perspective. And I'm kind of jonesing for Netflix's 3 new Beverly Hills Cop movies that are being filmed right now.
No. See, this is why I talked to you. I had no idea. So
yeah, they started filming, I think, 2 months ago or 3 months ago.
Okay. And
they're doing 3 movies back to back.
Original cast? Or
original
any of them?
Cast. Even John Ashton.
Wow. Okay. So you know what? Jessica just mentioned, I mean, it's funny that this came up, that she had never seen Beverly Hills Cop. Oh, there's my dog. I only saw Beverly Hills Cop for the first time about 5 years ago. And I loved it. And I have no idea how I went my whole life. I was quoting stuff from the movie. I mean, because it's popular stuff, right? So lines from the movie that were really popular, like my whole life, I've been quoting those lines from Eddie Murphy. But the movie itself was great, and I've probably watched it like 3 or 4 times since then. So, and Succession, you told me about that. I had seen it on the thing, and so my general philosophy when it comes to television is, when it's a new show, I need to know at least half of the cast. If I don't know half of the main cast, I'm not watching the show unless I hear that it's hear really good buzz about it. So then I'll go check it out. So that's where you came in, and you told me about the show, and you said the show's really great. And I was like, oh yeah, I saw it. I just didn't really think much of it. And you're right. I would say it took me 3 or 4 episodes to get into it. But once I got into it, oh my gosh, like it's unbelievable.
See, I'm predisposed to loving stuff like that because I work in media, and it's kind of, it feels quite real. I mean, it's a bit over the top, obviously, but the general gist, I've known people just like Logan Roy. I've known people just like the people from his family. Like, all these folks have counterparts that are quite similar in real life. And what I really loved about that show is, from the beginning, is that the cast was basically unknowns or not big names. So you didn't really have any preconceived notions.
Other than the dad.
Well, Brian Cox.
Yeah.
Hello, Super Troopers.
Yeah. And Kieran Culkin, little bit of name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, what's his name? Alan.
Was he from Ferris Bueller, right?
I don't remember if he was in Ferris Bueller, but he was in Spin City.
Alan Rickman.
City.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
not Alan Rickman. That's Snape. Alan something or other.
Yeah, but Spin City. Yeah, he was the Michael J. Fox's like Stewart. He played on that show.
Stewart,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Slightly creepy dude.
Yeah, but he wasn't Ferris Bueller's best friend on Ferris Bueller's Day Off as well.
Bueller.
Oh,
I've never seen Ferris Bueller.
Okay, I think he might have been. You gotta watch Ferris Bueller, just like I watched Beverly Hills Cop. You gotta watch Ferris Bueller now. Yeah,
sounds like a deal.
Excellent movie. Get back to me when you've seen it. So they just finished up their 3rd season. I saw somebody made a comment. Well, it's Kieran Culkin, and he said, when he was hosting SNL, he said that I'm I'm the nicest person on the cast. Like my character is the nicest person, which in the context of that show, I'm like the 10th most despicable character on all of television, but I'm still the nicest person on this show. Like that tells you.
There's a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth to that.
They're just awful people.
Though I gotta say, I do like Greg.
Yes,
like, he's the
cousin
the
Greg,
least evil one still, but he's Breaking Bad right now.
Yeah, I don't.
And
so I haven't seen a single episode from this season yet. So
okay,
yeah, I'm watching the Wire right now. I'm just finished season 3, so I want to finish that, and then I'm going to get into Succession. You know who Greg? Well, I don't want to say the name because I don't want to like embarrass him, or I don't think I'd embarrass him. But there's a guy who we both know from the Vegas crew that I think like looks like so much like Greg, and he's probably the same height.
Do you mean Ben?
Yes. Do you see it?
Yeah, kind of.
I don't think the personalities are the same, although they have similar traits. Ben is probably more like the guy. I see. I'm really bad with character names, but
he's kind of a mix of Greg and Tom.
Yes. Tom is the guy that took over for basically took his dad's company at the end of last season, right? Is that Tom?
Tom is the guy who's married to Shiv.
Oh yeah. Okay, you're totally right. Yeah.
Because those two kind of work together on the show as well. So
yeah,
if you merge them, you kind of end up with Ben Miller, and I love Ben. Seriously,
yes, I do. Me too. And he's not a popular dude on social media, but if you meet him in real life, like he's a great dude. Like I've had meals with him. I've had great conversations with him. I've run into him at the most random places at different times. We talk about hockey all the time. So yeah, but when I saw him, like just physically, facially, he looks like Ben.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
But Ben and I went to the Hall of Fame together in New York. Mm-hmm. We had seats next to each other when Trump got inducted.
When who? Sorry?
Donald Trump got inducted.
Oh, right. Oh.
And we heckled the whole time.
Isn't he a Trump guy?
Not
Ben?
that I know.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I think he's whoever he's talking to, he takes the other side on like anything. Like I think that's just the way.
He just likes to rile people up. That's it.
Yes.
That's really all. But he's a great guy. It's pretty much like Jonathan Snowden. A lot of people online hate him, but dude, I've never had a crossword with him.
No.
I've spent a lot of time with him. I love his books.
I've never met him personally, but we follow each other on Twitter and we've had a lot of like DM conversations. And he's a great guy. Like, and he's never once like had anything negative to say to me, at me, about me. So for me, that's I have nothing wrong to say about you if that's the way you are with me, and I can't really speak to how he treats anyone else or what he says about anyone else because I don't really care. Unless it was one of my friends, and if one of my then I might have a problem with it, but not that I can see, and sometimes people play a character online, I find, and it's not really how they really are. Don't you think so?
Really?
Oh
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But there's the thing, social media kind of sucks anyway, and people behave differently on social media than in real life anyway.
Absolutely.
I've rarely met a person in real life who ended up being worse than their social media profile.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. Now, I would say that there's some people that who they are on social media is who they are in real life. It's rare, but there are a lot of people like that. And I would like to think I'm like that. And I can definitely say you're like that. And so like, those are the people that I really dig. There's other people that I think they put up a defense when they're on social media. So as long as you understand what's going on, you can get past it. But the people that are what they are and they just don't change for anybody, like I really appreciate that. And that's what I strive to be. Maybe I'm not that all the time, but I like to try to be.
Look, at the end of the day, it's too much work to try to be different personalities for different people.
Yes. And so when
you're going to slip up eventually. So,
and when people accuse me of, like maybe having a contrarian opinion just to do it, or, and I don't, that's where my defense goes up, because I try to give my honest opinion all the time. And and if you don't like it, well, I'm sorry, maybe you'll like the next one. But it's like, I'm not going to change my opinion to please you. What I like is what I like. But what I also like to try to do is find middle ground, because like you and I, like, we're good friends, and you are a huge fan of AEW, obviously, and it's very rare you're going to find a negative thing to say about them. And me, I do a podcast covering AEW, and I find a lot of negative things, even though I love the product and it's absolutely my favorite. And 80% of the stuff on the show I love. When we tend to focus on the negative for the purposes of a podcast, and so you're not like just saying like 80, just, yeah, I love it. Whereas like if you actually listen, you would understand that, yeah, I'm only, we're focusing on the stuff to make for a better show to listen to. But in actuality, I love the show. But that doesn't mean like I hate AEW just because I might make a negative comment about a particular angle or something every once in a while. But what I like to do is to find that common ground. So if you say a segment was great and I didn't particularly care for it, we talk and we give our opinions, and then we come to a middle ground, and you say, you know what, you might have been right about that. I say, you know what, maybe I was a little hard on that. And then we come to a conclusion. I like that, as opposed to sticking your head in the sand and saying, no, if you don't feel the way I do, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
But that's a bigger problem right now anyway, that people try to surround themselves with folks who have the same opinions, think the same way. I'm not like that. I kind of like different takes, because there's usually merit to all. It's like when Jim Cornette criticizes people in AEW. Mm-hmm. When he doesn't get personal, he often makes good points. And I've seen people change things they do, perhaps as a reaction to what they heard. He's been a lot more complimentary to AEW over the past couple of months, after they started bringing in people like CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, and doing more, not necessarily serious stuff, but more stuff that he might have an easier time connecting to. Yeah. And that's what I love about AEW, is that there's something for everybody. Yeah. You're not going to like some stuff. I'm not going to like some stuff. Like, personally, nothing against Marco Stunt, but
well,
we haven't seen him on my screen.
And you know what? I think that Tony has been listening to some of that, because we haven't really seen much of him for a long time.
Isn't it because he's working on his singing career?
Well, that too. But even when he wasn't, The Voice. But even when he wasn't, like, we weren't seeing as much of him. He was being less focused on. And I think that Tony does listen to the fans. And when, and then he also looks at the business metrics. So he's not just listening to the loud fans and saying, I don't like Adam Cole acting like a dummy, like I do. Because if he's looking at the ratings and seeing that, there's some people with big mouths that are talking like that, but the actual viewers are watching it, we're going to keep going. And I appreciate that about him. He's got some really smart people working for him. As our mutual friend, Chris, other people, even like guys like Christopher Daniels, and, guys with a lot of experience in the business, Dustin Runnels, that are giving him good advice that he's listening to. And the result is a show that is for the fans. And that's what I love about it, whereas WWE is putting on a show for the networks, giving them what they think they want. And, and to a lesser extent, giving Vince what he wants, but not really caring what the fans want. And whereas AEW is putting on a show for the fans, they're buying it. So it's working out pretty well for both sides. Tony's got a successful company, and the fans got a show that they can actually watch and not be embarrassed to be a wrestling fan by watching it. So
it's a different audience, really.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
If you look at the crossover between AEW and WWE, it's not that great.
No, not at all.
And there's reason for it. And there's people who loved WWE's product, and that's perfect. Enjoy what you want to enjoy, and like what you like. I don't care. I'm just happy to have a wrestling product that kind of takes me back to when I was a child. Now, and I'm not saying it's an old style. I just mean it makes sense.
Yeah,
the booking makes sense.
It's actually not an old style. It's a brand new style, but the concepts behind it, the thought patterns, the face heel dynamic. Despite what Cody says about there being no such thing as faces and heels, there's absolutely faces and heels in AEW, and they're very clearly defined. And that's why it's so easy to watch, because, they do have a few characters that teeter back and forth, but 80% of them are very clearly defined one way or the other. and that makes it very easy to watch. Whereas you watch the other show, you have no idea. I just watched a show on Monday night where the biggest heel was booked as the biggest babyface, and that confuses the viewers.
We had that last week with MJF in Long Island.
Yes, but that was different because they very clearly, there was a reason why, and MJF stayed true to his character. So even though he was being cheered, he was acting like a dick. And so the fans there love it because it was him doing it, but anyone else watching would have still hated him. Whereas what I'm talking about from Monday, he was booked in a way that the fans couldn't help but cheer him. The people watching would cheer him, but he's supposed to be a heel. So, you have a heel that beats the 3 top baby faces in 3 straight matches on a show, and he's the heel. Clean. With no interference, and the heels are, I can't even. but I watched the show. I don't know why.
You're a glutton for punishment.
I'm an addict, is what I am.
And I think that's a difference between the two of us, because WWE's wrestling actually got me to back away from the sport entirely, both as a viewer and as a professional.
Yeah.
Because I was just sick and tired of the product, and it just didn't excite me anymore. Knowing a lot of the wrestlers they have on their roster, and knowing what their potential really is if they were let go, if they were let to be themselves and give more of their personality into their character, that's what frustrates me. Like a guy like Ricochet, for instance, being completely hidden.
Yeah. Or Chad Gable.
That man is, There's Dustin Rhodes has more of a profile in AEW than those 2 guys combined in WWE, and that's a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that Dustin is back. I love that he's living his best life right now, both as a trainer and as a professional. But there's no excuse not to have Ricochet be in a similar role in WWE, or Chad Gable, or
Cesaro.
I just wonder sometimes. Well, yeah, Claudio, obviously.
Yeah.
I just wonder sometimes what the end game is there. It's got to be to sell to somebody.
Yeah. I was going to say that. Yeah.
Creatively.
Look,
I love Bruce. I love Bruce Pritchard. I love that dude, but keep him as far away from wrestling as you possibly can. His ideas didn't work 20 years ago.
I will say that there was some stuff on Friday's episode of SmackDown that, now I'm not going to tell you to go watch it because you don't watch WWE, but if you had a gun to your head and were forced to watch 30 minutes of WWE show, watch everything Brock Lesnar was involved with on Friday night. That was so good. And I know you're a big Brock fan, so you would probably really love it. There needs to be a television show, and I even have a name for it. It can be called Moose Jaw. And it's Brock Lesnar teaching Sami Zayn how to hunt moose, hunt them, kill them, skin them, eat them, and mount them. And this would be Sami being all frightened and Brock being all Brock. And this would be ratings gold. And you can call it Moose Jaw because there's a town in Saskatchewan called Moose Jaw, and it's perfect. It writes itself. And it should be a Peacock special. And so,
are we talking full mount, side mount, half mount? What kind of, or do you mean
mounting on the wall? Yeah. So there was a segment where he got in the face of Adam Pearce, right face to face. And he basically said to him, I want to thank you for suspending me because that gave me some time off to do some moose hunting. And I went and I found the biggest moose I could find, 2,000-pound moose. And I killed that moose. And then I skinned him. And then I ate him. And then I mounted him on the wall. And as I was looking at them, I was thinking about you. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to name this moose Pierce. And Adam Pearce had this traumatized look on his face. And I'm not doing it any justice. Like, you can picture Brock saying this, and it took 3 times as long as what I just did. He milked it, and it was so awesome. And yeah, and then he had some stuff with Sami Zayn earlier in the show. It was great. But you know what?
Definitely watch it.
Yeah, we are over our time. This is now officially the longest show, even though I told you it wouldn't be. But I want to thank you for being so generous. Obviously, Jessica being on lengthened things a bit, and I think it was well worth it for me, you, and anybody watching. To not look at our faces, and I'm sure they're just staring at her, which is just fine. Did you have anything you want to add before we take off?
What do you think of my great Gremlins meets Bret the Hitman Hart shirt?
That was awesome. Okay, so I was trying to figure out what that was. And then I'm wearing, I don't know if you can see it all. I'm a 4 horsewoman guy.
Nice.
That's my shirt. Yeah. This is my work attire.
So,
Yeah.
what do you think of Marina being with AEW now?
So is she signed? Like, I know she did a dark match.
She did a dark match on Dark.
Yeah.
But just in general, just having her there, good
I
idea. bad
mean,
idea?
yeah, I put it this way. I think they should have used her better in WWE. And there's a very specific role that I think they had for her that someone else is doing right now that she would have been perfect in. But I do think that being there is going to allow her to let her own personality come out in her matches. Whereas I think the problem she was having before was she's a trained fighter and they were teaching her how to be a sports entertainer. So now they are going to let her be a fighter in the realm of pro wrestling, similar to Ty Conti. And I think like 6 months from now, people are going to be like, oh my God, how did WWE screw this one up? Because I think she's got something,
Ty Conti is probably the best example for that.
Yeah. I mean, I think she actually needs to get out of there for a little while right now. I think she needs to expand her horizons a bit because they brought something out of her. Now she just needs to get better. And I don't think she's getting better the way she's being used right now. So I think like she's even talked about going to Japan. I think if she goes to Japan for 6 months and comes back, like she could be one of the best people in North America with her natural ability. And yeah. So
word from Japan is that Ty and Anna Jay are coming over there for a couple of months.
Awesome.
And that's exactly what I would be doing because those two have so much potential.
I mean, you look at some of the people that have gone there. Look at how much. Bea Priestley improved, and she's tearing it up in NXT UK right now. I don't even know some of the other ones that went. Now, I mean, obviously, I think too she needs to work a long program with Serena Deeb. It's just the way they book their TV and stuff. Like it doesn't really lend themselves to these long programs. Like you look at some of the young tag teams that they have, like the Acclaimed, even the Lucha Express, Private Party. Like any one of those do like a 3-month house show loop with FTR, and they're gonna come out of it as like, so advanced from what they are now, but unfortunately they don't really get a chance to do stuff like that. They're working squash matches and then they're getting beat on TV. And, I just, that's where I'm the little bit of like the development, I think is what they need a little bit of help with. So I think I love the fact that Tony lets them do indies, and I think that's going to help a lot. And yeah, this Japan thing, once Japan opens up and some of these younger people can go there for a few months, oh my God, you're going to see such a difference.
Just you wait for the day that Dante Martin goes to New Japan for a run.
Oh my God.
He's going to come back a totally new wrestler.
Yeah. Do Best of Super Juniors, or even a G1, cause he's actually, if he puts on a little bit of weight, he could be a heavyweight. He's got the frame. He just needs some muscle. So anyways, we should wrap it up.
There's 3 people, my friends who work for New Japan always talk about: Dante.
Yeah.
Darby.
Yeah.
And Eddie Kingston.
Oh, so they want Eddie in New Japan, or
they talk about him, say that he's really awesome, and I think he would be a really good guy to have over to do a strong style Japanese 90s match against one of the New Japan guys. I think there's, except for him and Bryan Danielson, there's nobody better in AEW in terms of working that style.
See, I don't really think of him as a being a fit for New Japan, although I mean they do so many different styles, anybody can fit there. But I think of him more like Noah or even AJ. Is it AJPW? That's the other big one that's running now. There, are they still going? All Japan, of course. Yeah. So Eddie Kingston, like working there, but of course the relationship they have right now is with New Japan. So yeah, like I mean Eddie Kingston and Ishii. Oh my God.
Okada is a huge fan of Eddie's.
Oh really? Oh my God, that's fascinating.
Huge fan of his.
That
I don't know if it goes back to TNA or something, but there's a connection there, and I promise you that he would be over the moon if he could wrestle Eddie Kingston
or Tanahashi. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, Tanahashi's going to be coming in at some point.
Yeah,
I mean he did challenge Jon Moxley.
Yeah, that's coming as soon as John's back. And hey, John, if you're watching or if anybody's watching that knows him, best wishes out to you. I hope everything works itself out and you'll be back soon. But we should wrap it up.
He'll be back in a good place when he gets back.
Yes, absolutely. I can speak from experience on that one.
With his best friend by his side in a company he actually cares about.
and his loving
So-
wife and his beautiful daughter. That's a good place to wrap it up. So thanks, Oliver. You've been very generous with your time, and this has been so much fun. And I will definitely have you on again if you'll come back, and hopefully you do. And I will
It's been
close.
my pleasure.
Well, mine too. And I will close the show as I always do. So for Oliver, I've been Grampa Dez, and this has been Cup of Joe with Grampa Dez.